Kim harbored a deep hatred for the world. Life had never offered him a single chance. Cast aside the moment he was born, treated as less than human, subjected to beatings and cruelty. No reason existed, none whatsoever, to cherish such a merciless world. This bitterness hardened into distrust. He wielded violence as his only shield. And with unwavering resolve, he carved this truth into his soul. Regardless of circumstance, he would always stand alone. January 1st, 2020, marked the day the world became a game. Dungeons materialized across the globe, releasing monsters that destroyed cities and slaughtered countless lives. Alongside these terrors arrived divine beings known as the Nimbus. They granted a chosen few a unique power named authority. Those who received authority could awaken as players. At first, people believed these empowered individuals would rescue humanity. But the players used the chaos to pursue their own greed and ambitions. As hope faded, most accepted the world's impending doom. Yet for one man, nothing had changed. The world remained a place where trust was poison. This truth held until he met someone who shifted his worldview. Jun Li was the first of 7 chosen humans to awaken as a player. Designated as a knight by the executioner of the Holy Light, he earned renown as the world's strongest player. He fought monsters to protect the vulnerable, asking nothing in return, driven solely by the goal of saving humanity. After defeating the final boss of this cursed game, Jun Li now vows to destroy the system itself. He believes dismantling it is the only way to reclaim the world. Within the Messiah Guild, he readies himself to face this fate. The heroes gathered around Sion Li one by one, united by their mission to save the world. For the first time, he discovered comrades worthy of his trust and loyalty. If he stood with them, he felt certain they could reshape the world. Their journey culminated at the entrance to the final dungeon. He convinced himself that only a single battle remained. The leader, Sion Li had revered, approached him. The man affirmed Sion Li's belief this would indeed be the final battle, but only for him. Before Sion Li could react, the leader unsheathed his sword and slashed at Yujin Kim, the hero Sion Li had once idolized. Yujin Kim gripped his stained blade, admitting they could never have reached this point without Sion Li. Sion Li dropped to his knees, weakened. Yujin Kim coldly announced the curse of Balmung had taken hold. Every ounce of resistance was diminished by 90%. Every shred of defensive power was reduced by 90%. Sion Li demanded answers from his former captain, asking if this betrayal had been planned from the start. He pleaded to understand why. A woman emerged from the shadows. She mocked Sion Li for his lingering naivety. When the game concludes, she explained, everything vanishes: authority items, dungeons, monsters, all their hard-won power would dissolve. Without that power, the masses would no longer bow to them. She leaned in, her whisper brushing Kim's ear. If that day arrived, she hissed, their chance to rule the world would vanish too. Kim's eyes filled with disillusionment in that pivotal moment. The comrades he trusted most had betrayed every principle they once shared. As he screams Sion Li's name, the viper's venom spreads through his veins. Agony overtakes him, forcing him to expel the blood clogging his throat. His betrayers stand before him, gloating over his agonizing demise. The captain's Balmung sword had been laced with poison. The leader states coldly that the blade's venom was potent enough to slaughter the entire team. Kim staggers, shock rendering him speechless. They had poisoned everyone. He snarls through gritted teeth, accusing them of exploiting the trust placed in them to save the world. Those they hailed as comrades, who fought alongside them at great risk, were discarded the moment they threatened the traitor's ambitions. The betrayers concede they underestimated how swiftly he'd unravel their plot. The dragon hunter, the terror, and the king of the undead had feigned kindness solely to engineer this brutal betrayal. The girl challenges Kim, asking if he truly doubts their ability to control the world through sheer will. Staring at his captain, Kim shouts that their filthy mouths can invent any excuse. With his final breath, he screams Sion Lee's name and curses them all. His body gives out, collapsing to the ground defeated. He mutters that in the end, there was no one left to trust. This is how Kim dies. The game resets as Kim gazes at the light at the end of the tunnel. He hears distant voices. The voices debate whether monsters are appearing too frequently these days. Another dismisses the complaint, arguing the chaos means more profit. Someone curses, insisting they deserve higher pay for risking their lives. A military truck speeds down the highway. Inside it, Kim jolts awake in panic. He demands to know what just happened, frantically touching his abdomen. He's certain Mom stabbed him. He remembers dying. Was it all a dream? As he processes his surroundings, he recognizes this place. The driver slams the brakes, skidding to a halt. Ahead, a horde of orcs obliterates city vehicles, smashing the truck's rear. Soldiers inside shout that a full pack blocks their path. They order everyone to arm themselves and engage immediately. Chaos erupts as the soldiers scramble into action, drawing the orcs' attention. The orcs charge without hesitation, intent on slaughter. The terrified driver yells at them to hurry. An older man takes command, barking orders. They're low on ammo. He warns only shoot when certain of a kill. One soldier breaks ranks, firing wildly at the orcs. The others stare in shock as he lands a clean headshot on an orc. When they look closer, they realize the soldier is none other than Kim, deranged by the death of their comrade. The orcs swarm toward Kim. Without hesitation, he retaliates, firing precise headshots into the charging horde. One orc swings a massive club at him, but Kim dodges skillfully. He keeps shooting mid-movement, blasting the orc's skull before it can recover. Another orc freezes, stunned by the carnage, then turns to flee. Kim has no intention of letting it escape. He fires a shot into its back, then another into its head as it crumples. The soldiers stare, unable to process what they've witnessed. They whisper in disbelief, how could one man slaughter an entire orc pack alone? Kim ignores them, studying his trembling hand. This doesn't feel like a dream, he mutters. The rawness is too vivid. The captain storms toward him, blocking his path. He shouts that Kim is a lunatic, accusing him of trying to get them all killed. Kim barely registers the words, consumed by his own turmoil. Could this truly be the past? He wonders. The captain continues berating him, while the others debate Kim's sudden, lethal prowess. Kim retreats to the truck's edge, sitting heavily as rage simmers beneath his skin. The betrayal by Lisa Jum and Parshanhai burns fresh in his mind. Then, a sound snaps him from his thoughts. A player is startled by a holographic menu flanked by radiant auras. Questioning if today marks his ascension as a player, this time, 3 choices appear, one labeled Dark World Substitute, differing from past iterations. The class grants mastery over poisons and curses, utilizing undead as tools. One aura enables building a malevolent army. Another offers near-dash omnipotence. Johann Gore, later dubbed the Immortal King, once dominated all other abilities as the strongest player to wield the Dark World Substitute's power. If Lizzie Jun symbolizes the hero, Johann embodies the monster. In a past life, the protagonist studied Johann's aura to defeat him now. He can become that monster by selecting the Dark World Substitute, swearing vengeance on his former captain.